This conference will now be recorded.
Alright, so what we are going to discuss in today's session about the Power Query Editor, insights and transformations what we have. Yesterday we have saved our report, right? So how to open the report, whatever we have saved in the last time. So the report, if you want to open, yesterday one is 11/08/20. The other report is SQL MSBA Power BI report. So if I am trying to open this SQL MSBA Power BI report, whatever I have created, just double click on that. If you want to open this report, definitely you should require a Power BI desktop needs to be installed in your computer. In the transformations, what we have discussed is removing a columns, removing a other columns, and choose the columns, and removing the rows, top rows, range of rows, and alternative rows, all those things. Okay. So today I'm going to focus on some more other transformations. And also yesterday we have discussed about how to create a table and how to enter the data inside a table. But the table what I created and whatever the data I entered, if I want to do any modifications for the data, can we do that one? And one more question, I'm getting the data from the SQL server, right? So once I'm getting the data in Power BI, can I do the data modifications? If any modifications I'm doing inside the Power BI desktop, is it going to modify our data source system? Can anyone answer this question? If I'm doing any modifications to the data in Power BI, is it going to affect in our SQL server? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No, right? Yeah. So it will not affect anything in the background. Okay. All right. Then, let's say for example, if I want to enter the data, that you can do under edit queries as well, or you can see there is an option, enter data option. If you want to create a table by entering the data manually, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a month number and month name. Okay, so the month number is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 11 12. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so the table is, I'm going to make this table as a month info table. Just simply load it. So table will be created that can be do inside the edit queries, or you can do in the Power BI desktop as well. So the data whatever I have entered for this table, if I want to do a modifications for one of the row or the value, how can you do these modifications to the data? So see the data, the table what you have created is for table, month number, month name, January to December. Okay, I want to do a small modification. So you cannot do this modification for this table over here. If you want to do the modification, you have to go to the edit queries. So where is your query? Month info query. So how to modify this data? If you want to modify this data what you have entered, under the applied steps, you have to go to the source, and there is a gear icon. You can see, click on the gear icon. It will open a editable window whatever you have entered. For example, I'm going to give it as a, instead of April, APRIAL, April, I'm going to make it. Instead of June, I will make it as a January. Okay, so then simply click OK. So whenever you want to modify a data inside a table entered by using a enter data option, you cannot modify the data what you have, what you are getting from the some other source system over here. Understand? Whenever we are entering a data by using a enter data option, that if you want to modify, then you need to go to the edit query builder. Under the edit query builder, there is a source under the for that particular query. I want to modify the month info table, right? So then I modified over here. All right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, I just want to close apply. So the modified data will be loaded over. The modified data will be loaded here. Okay. So when I am clicking on refresh, what is happening when I am clicking on refresh? It is executing all the queries, including month info. So it can execute dim customer, dim date, dim geography, dim product fact, internet sales, all the tables, all the queries. Because in your source system, you might have the data modified. This is the scenario. This is my SQL server, contains list of tables. Okay, these are the list of tables. This is my Power BI desktop. I imported all the tables into Power BI desktop. Then those tables are refreshing when you are clicking on the refresh. Okay, when you are clicking on the refresh option, all the queries are refreshing. Refresh in the sense, the queries whatever prepared will be executed in your data source system. Whatever the updated data you have, all the updated data will come to Power BI desktop. Perfect. You know, I have created one table, that is month info table. The table name is month info table. So the month info table, whatever we have, the month info table, whatever we have, that is not getting the data from any of the data source, correct? Then why are you executing? Why are you refreshing this table, this query every time? The data will not be changed. Once you are entering the data into month info table at the time you are creating, the data will not be changing until again you are going and modifying, updating. So what I want to do, when I am clicking on refresh, I don't want to refresh this month info table. I don't want to execute this month info query because it's wasting of the time. You got my point? All other queries can execute, can modify. All other queries can execute and can modify. Because the data inside your data source system SQL server might change. The data in my data source system, it may change, I don't know. So daily morning 10 a.m., the scheduled refresh, the queries will be executing and getting the data from your data source system. At the time I'm refreshing, I don't want to include this month info query to execute in the refresh. The reason because unnecessarily this month info query is executing without there is a data change. There is no data changes. Why are you executing the query again and again and again? Not required. Correct? How to stop a query without executing? How to stop a query without executing when you are scheduling a refresh option? I want to set only the queries whatever I want to execute. So that option you can do inside the edit query builder, go over here, edit queries. Go to the month info table, right click over here. See, there is an option. By default, all the queries are included in the report refresh. That means by default this query will be included to refresh and executing and getting the data whenever you are clicking on the refresh. So you need to disable this option. So when you are right clicking, you can see this option over here, or you can see there is a properties option over here. There is a properties option. Click on the properties, month info. See, there is a include in report refresh. You need to disable. Then click OK. Then close and apply. This is very important option. You are saving report performance also. To execute 8 queries and refreshing the data, if it is taking 1 hour time, the month info query is taking 10 minutes time. You are saving 10 minutes time, right? So now I'm going to click on refresh. See, the month info will not include and will not execute. The reason because you are disabling the option include in report refresh. So apart from this month info, all other tables are executing over here. Got it? So the question over here is the interview question: how to disable a query you can maintain separate questions. How to disable query not to include in data refresh. So that option available inside the edit query builder. Edit query builder, include in data refresh. Include in data refresh. How to disable a query not to include in data refresh. That is edit query builder. So you need to include in data refresh option needs to be disabled. Disable include in data refresh. Clear? All right. The second question is, the second requirement is you are able to see month info table. My requirement is I don't require this month info. I don't want to make visible this month info over here. What you can do? Just right click and hide it. So it is not visible over here. Then how to unhide that query? Right click, unhide. Hiding, unhiding is just it is not visible, that's all. My requirement is there should be a query, but that should not be loaded into Power BI desktop. Means there is a extraction. Yes, we are doing extraction. And there should be a transformation. Yes, we are doing applying some transformations on the query, but I don't want to load the data for this query into Power BI desktop. Because in future I might enable this one. But as of now, I just want to disable a query without loading into Power BI desktop. Instead of deleting that query, as of now I don't require that query. That means I don't want to delete that query because I applied a lot of transformations. Okay, a lot of transformations we have. I don't want to delete that query, but I don't want to load the data for that query into my Power BI desktop because I don't require that data as of now. I don't want to waste the memory to load that data into my Power BI desktop. So how to disable that query without loading into Power BI desktop? That also you can do under the edit queries. So go to that query only and you can see the properties window. The first option, it is enabled by default to load into report. Report means Power BI desktop. If you are disabling that option, then that query will not be loaded into your Power BI desktop. See, are you able to see that query? No. It's completely not loading the structure, metadata, or the data, anything. It's not occupying any memory inside your Power BI report. But you have a query in your edit queries, Power Query Editor. So we stopped a query at a transformation phase. We are not loading that query. So question 2 is how to disable a query or a table data not to load into Power BI desktop or report. It is in edit query builder under the properties needs to disable enable load to report. Okay, now tell me someone, what is the first option? What was happening when I am disabling? What is the second option? So include in report refresh when I am disabling, what will happen? Tell me.
It will not load the data from the data source when we are refreshing.
What about the other option? Enable load report. The second option, if I am disabling enable load to report, what will happen?
It will not include in the reports.
So the first option, include in report refresh option, if I am disabling, that query whatever the first time loaded into your Power BI report, once you are disabling that option, then it will not execute anymore in future and it will not get fresh data, but it should have the data, older data. Before disabling this option, whatever the data uploaded, that data only it has. Once you are disabling that option, in future, if any updated data available in your source system or somewhere, then that query will not get and it will not execute first thing. Disabling include in report refresh means that query will not execute further and it will not get any updated data. If it is not executing, that means it will not get the updated data. And the second option, enable load to report, means it will not store anything. You will not see that query and you will not see that table and data inside your report, but it will be there. The query will be there in the Power Query editor, but it will not load the data and it will not visible at least. Understand? Or any confusion over here? The first option, second option. Try to understand, please. Okay, all right. So these are the two options available: disabling a query not to include in the data refresh, disabling a query or table data not to load into Power BI desktop or reports. So we'll discuss about the further transformation techniques what available in the edit queries. So what are the different kind of data types? The data types are very important for reporting. And even in this business intelligence tools, if you don't have a proper data type of the column, the Power BI will not implement some functionalities on the data. If you don't have a proper data type of a column, then the functionalities, whatever the default functionalities, will not be work on that particular data. So whenever you are importing the data into Power BI, the Power BI will create a data type over here. The Power BI will create a data type over here. So that data type, see here, customer key. What is the data type of this customer key? 1, 2, 3 symbol is coming. That means something, it is number related. If you want to see what is the data type of this particular column, you can see over here. Whenever you are selecting a particular column, that data type will come over here. For example, if I am selecting first name, what is the data type of that column? Text data type. If you want to convert the data type of a particular column from one data type to another data type, you can select that particular column and change over here. If I want to change this first name column data type into a number data type, what will happen? See, a text data type cannot be converted into number data type. A text data type cannot be converted into number data type. That's the reason it is throwing error. Do you want to see that error message also? Click on error. We could not convert to number. Okay, the name John, we could not convert to number. Okay, so how to go back? To go back under the upright steps, simply click on this latest step, whatever you perform, and you change the data type, right? That step also, if you want to roll back, click on change type. So can I change the data type of a number decimal to text data type? See here, for example, I have a order quantity or a sales amount. Where is the sales amount? Yeah, sales amount. What is the data type? Decimal number. I want to convert to text data type. Click over here. A number data type can be converted into text data type. Okay, actually the data type of this column should be decimal. Sales amounts will be decimal or numbers or integers, whatever. So I converted the data type into text. I will show you what will happen when you are taking a wrong data type for a particular column. Close and apply. So you did a modification to this query. That is the reason that query is executing. So earlier I have displayed sales amount 29.36 million. Now the data type we have changed for this column. What happened? Something wrong. What's wrong? The wrong is in this sales amount column, it is not performing the sum. Okay, I will remove this one and I will try to take the sales amount again. Drag and drop the sales amount over here. What happened? It's coming something like a functions. You can able to do first, last, count. So you can do the counting of the rows. Count of sales amount 60,000. What do you mean by count? It is counting the number of rows. But we need a sum function. I want to do the sum of sales amount, right? But it is doing only few functions, aggregate functions it is applying. A sum function is not enabled for this column. The reason because the data type of the sales amount is a text. So Power BI is thinking how these people are going to sum the text data type. Then don't require a sum. First name, last name, Ram, Vehan. How are you going to sum these two people? No, right? You are just counting how many number of customers. Yes, there are two customers. You can find who is the first customer, who is the second customer, last customer. That you can do valid and the text data type. But can't we cannot make maximum of text data type, maximum of first name, maximum of last name. So when you are making sales amount as a text data type, this will not work over here. This will not work over here. So try to convert the data type. Go to edit queries. Go to the sales amount column. Factory rate sales. Select the sales amount. Just roll back the data type to be a fixed decimal. Now close and apply. I'm just trying to showcase you the importance of the data type.
I think we have to remove count. It's still in count.
Yeah. So you have to go over here. We will check whether there is some option enabled or not. See, we got average, sum, minimum, maximum, variance, median. So many options you are getting because of the data type. So I'm going to make it as a sum. You understand? So the data type is very important. By default, it will take the data type properly once you are downloading the report over here. Sorry, once you are importing the data into Power BI, what kind of data type it can be assigned, you can see over there. Go to the factory sales table. How the data type will be decided over here? Based on the data. What kind of data type is suitable? Power BI itself will be decided. We don't need to decide anything. One more scenario. So for example, I have a order date. Okay, I have a order date. I will take one table visualization. Inside this visualization, the order date I'm going to keep over here. So I'm just drag and drop this order date into this table. So it has created a hierarchy automatically. Actually, order date is a column contains only date. I will show you the data inside this factory trend sales table, how the order date looks. See, order date column contains the date value. But when you are looking over here, automatically it is splitting the date into year, quarter, month, day over here. Understand? Because of data type. If I'm converting this order date into a text data type, we will see what will happen. Go to edit queries. Fact internet sales. Go to the order date. Change the data type. Instead of date time, I'm going to make it as a text data type. Alright. Close. Apply. See, there is a hierarchy. A plain order date column is coming. It is displaying something like this. So based on the data type, Power BI is trying to apply some intelligence. Itself, it is applying some intelligence, will help you without human involvement. If you want to create a hierarchy, again you need to extract the year, month, day, quarter, all those things. Okay, it's a date time data type. So then definitely developers will expect from this date some year, month, quarter, something like that. So it did automatically because of the data type. So now I'm going to change the data type again back to text data, sorry, date time data type. Just go to fact internet sales table, change the data type what we did, close and apply. Okay, so now you can see over here data hierarchy is coming. You can go over here, instead of displaying a plain order date, I can convert to date hierarchy. See, automatically this will be converted to data hierarchy. So the other thing what we discussed today is importance of the data type, importance and conversion of data type, conversion of the data type in data in Power BI. Okay, let's go back to the edit queries again. We have so many transformations we are going to discuss. So under the choose columns, we have discussed about the choose column, but I want to discuss about go to column. What do you mean by go to column? I need one of the column, but this dim customer table contains so many columns. Instead of searching like this by scrolling, of course we deleted so many columns. Go to the fact internet sales table. There are so many columns, so you cannot search like this, right? So instead of that, what you can do, if you want to find a particular column, go to the column and which column you are expecting. I am expecting this extended amount. So click, select the extended amount and click OK. Extended amount, this is the one. This is how you can identify the column easily by selecting the go to column. So we discussed about choose column, remove column, keep rows, remove rows. How many of you practiced on these scenarios yesterday?
I have practiced yesterday.
So this close and apply means once you are doing modifications to Power Query Editor, any kind of modifications, you want to save that and close this Power Query Editor, you will use this option. The new source means, for example, if you want to create again a new connection to any other data source and bringing the data back, then you can establish a connection or data source from this also, from new source option. Okay, and go to the reset sources means till now whatever the data sources you created, that data sources you can see over here. Enter data means if you want to enter a new data to a table, you can enter. If you want to modify the data whatever you have entered, go to that particular query. Under the applied steps there is a source option. Under the source there is a gear icon over here. There you can enter over here. Okay, and then after we have discussed about refreshing the data. So you are doing some modifications and you want to see the updated data, you can execute a query. If you want to execute only the selected query, or if you want to execute all queries, so you can, if you want to execute only this particular query, refresh preview. If you want to execute all the queries, refresh all option needs to be executed. And then after, you can see under the top there is a properties window. The properties window contain about your query name and the two options whatever we have discussed just now, enable load to report, include in report, refresh over here. Then after, advanced editor is a query window. Whatever the Power Query query it is writing and you are doing modifications to your query, everything will be recorded over here. So we will discuss about this data source settings, manage parameters later. Okay, and this manage also tomorrow I will discuss about these things. And choose columns, remove columns, keep rows, remove rows we have discussed already. Okay, and the data type and use first row as a headers and use header as a first row. If you want to, instead of promoting, if you want to demote the column header rows into a data, then for example see here the first column names are headers, product key, order date key. If you want to make this as a first row, then simply select use header as a first row. That will come as a first row. See, that is coming as a first row. If you want to promote this one, use first row as a headers. Right. Okay. So this is how you can use this option, use first row as a header and use header as a first row. And the next thing is replacing the values. What do you mean by replacing a values? If you want to replace any values in a particular column, for example, in this discounted amount, I want to replace a 0 with any other value because I want to give discount to every customer 10 rupees. So I want to replace 0 with some other value in this column. You can select that column and click on the replace values option, and then so what value you want to replace? I want to replace 0 with 10 rupees. Okay, then click OK. Done. So it is replacing all the values wherever we have 0, replacing with 10. That is replacing of the values over here. So this merge queries, this option is nothing but we have discussed a joins in SQL Server, right? Inner join, left join, right outer join, full outer join. The joins, whatever we have discussed in this, that same thing is merge the queries. 100% is same. And appending queries is nothing but we did union and union up. So what I'm expecting by tomorrow, you have to refresh again the topics what we have discussed in the SQL joins. We have a different kind of joins: inner join, left join, right join, full outer join. Okay, so these are all the different kind of joins available. So just try to recollect the topics what we discussed in the SQL Server joins. And append, that is nothing but merge queries. These topics the same in Power BI we are doing as a merge queries. And the second one is inside the SQL we have union, comma, union all. So these two options here we are calling as a append queries. These two topics I'm going to discuss tomorrow. These two topics and this data source settings and this split by column and group by. Then I will jump to transform. The advantage here is many of the options whatever you have in the home button you will find in the transform. See, group by you have, use first headers you can find, and the data type option you have, right? Split column option you can have, you can see in the home button as well. And so many of the options are repeatable in both the transform page and home page tabs. Okay, so this will take tomorrow to complete this tab, and this will take 2 days to complete all these options whatever you can find over here. Then this will take 2 days to complete all these options. Okay, so hardly this Power Query editor will take 2 to 4 5 to 6 days to complete this Power Query editor. Once this is completed, then data discovery part is completed. What is the second page of the Power BI life cycle? What are the 4 stages? Data discovery, data modeling, data visualization,
data visualization, data sharing.
Yeah, once the Power Query editor is completed, I'm going to discuss about the data modeling tab. You can see the third one in the bottom here. Third one. So there I will discuss about the data modeling concepts. Any questions so far today's session? I will share the assignment document today. So no questions today's session, right?